More time.
Castology.
This is Castology, a mini-sode. It is a Zanecast episode. So you're going to be listening to my recommendations this week. But I am here for the last time.
No.
Yeah, well, for the last time for now.
Yep.
With
Nick Bleeker.
and
Liz Best.
And I thought that we would end with a little bit of a shout out to one of our biggest fans, Eric.
Eric the super fan.
Eric Wilson. So my top five today, I think it's five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top five. Now I'm going to put this down. Top 5 scripted podcasts that Eric has sent through.
Is this so you can have another mini-sode on Eric later?
There's
so many minis.
Can I just say, like, we get a fair few people writing into us through this podcast because that's kind of the way that we've worked the podcast. But Eric has been somebody who we didn't know before we started this podcast, who found us, who loved us, who sends us podcasts, who sends us little recommendations every now and then, little words of encouragement. Like it's just feels really nice to have a super fan. So this is our shout out to Eric Give
Absolutely.
Back episode.
And these are podcasts that I think both of you will not have listened to all of them.
Okay.
One you might have listened to one or two,
I'll get
but
my phone out then.
I guarantee you haven't listened to all of them.
Okay.
Let's just get started. So one of the biggest names on here is The Bright Sessions.
Oh,
So-
was that an Eric recommendation? Or you knew it beforehand?
I knew it beforehand. Like, that's the
Right.
thing. Some of these are very big recommendations. That's why I probably haven't thrown them on the main list because
Yeah.
I try to dig a little bit deeper for
Well, you did
lost
recommend the
gems.
Bright Sessions.
I
at some
have,
point.
yeah. So the Bright Sessions, 15, 20-minute episodes, but it's basically about, it's a science fiction audio drama about people with supernatural abilities going to therapy.
Amazing.
And how they deal with that and how it's affected their lives and that sort of thing. It's very, very touching, very well thought through. The Bright Sessions has moved on through a couple of different phases in its life, but it's still available. Good listening. This is probably.
Thoroughly enjoyed the Bright Sessions.
Did they turn that into a TV show?
I believe they were trying to. I'm not sure whether they did or not.
Right.
I do know that it was optioned. So I think the Bright Sessions is probably one of the biggest scripted audio dramas at the beginning of the podcast craze of audio dramas. So hard recommend. The next up is Cold. So Cold's a narrative podcast focused on missing persons cases. So it's scripted. It's not fiction. It is true crime. Solo host, investigative journalist Dave Corley. A single story each season.
I've heard that there was. I remember at one point there was one season that everybody was talking about and how they were horrified by it. But that's all I know about Cold.
Yeah. So it is. Season 1 is Susan Powell. Season 2 is Joyce Yost. And there's one case per season.
Right.
Dark Woods. Now this is from Dick Wolf.
Oh, wait, as in the Dick Wolf?
The Dick Wolf.
Shit,
and Wolf
right.
Entertainment. And then starring Corey Stoll from House of Cards and Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Monica Raymond from Chicago Fire. Reed Scott from Veep. It's when a body of a young volunteer is discovered in the middle of the California redwoods, two estranged ex-spouses, game warden Mark Ellis and city councilwoman must put their differences aside to learn the terrifying truth about what is happening in their state park.
Oh, that sounds yeah.
Cool.
It was just like, oh
And
my
again,
God.
really big
Yeah.
names, so this is probably not something that I would recommend, but a going away present for Liz.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The next one is Ghostwriter. So this is a movie podcast. So this is another one of those one episode, 83-minute long audio movie podcasts is what we're talking about. Produced by C13 Features. Kate Mara and Adam Scott are in this one.
I love Adam Scott.
It's a psychological thriller about former journalist who reluctantly accepts a job ghostwriting a new murder mystery novel for an eccentric billionaire. et cetera, et cetera.
Fuck, why do you pull these out when I'm leaving? Like, these all sound good.
I will say this has been on my list to do for about 6 months.
Well, at least I'll have time to listen to them now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can still listen to all of these. You'll still have access to the list afterwards as well.
Yes.
I am
You're not
not
locking
motivated enough to get
He's
rid
going to
of
lock us
permissions.
out. Security's about to escort us out of the building as soon as we're finished with a box of our stuff.
And then the final one, which is Stories from Among the Stars. So they're on season 3, and it's A Memory Called Empire by Arcady Martin. It's an anthology series, basically about a bunch of science fiction audio stories. So they had their first season, which was Steal the Stars, About Forbidden Love, A Crashed UFO, and An Alien Heist. And then in the second season, which is the last one that's available, season 3 hasn't been released yet. They're sharing A Memory Called Empire by Arcady Martin, ambassador from LaSalle Station to the Texla-Clanley Empire, basically investigating her predecessor's mysterious end.
Right. So all of these are going on my list. Thank you, Eric.
You're a winner, mate.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So thank you to Eric. And if you want to be a super fan as well, all you have to do is recommend us a bunch of great podcasts.
If
Yeah,
you
it's
want to be
just
just
simple.
a regular fan, you can just recommend us 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And we'll
that
still shout you out.
That includes your podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have a podcast that you're proud of, send it through. I love finding podcasts from people that are passionate about what they do. That's what I
Me
love.
too. Like some of the history ones that you've recommended where you're just like, oh my God, you can literally feel the passion oozing out of my headphones into my brain.
Yeah. That's what I want. That's
Yeah.
what I want.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
So
we're off to hold auditions.
well, I just want to say thank you to Nick and thank you to Liz for being great castologists for as long as you have been, which is years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
You've both recommended hundreds of great podcasts. Liz more than Nick.
Okay. I'm not making it a comp.
I have to subtract the sports ones. I'm sorry.
Even without the sports ones.
But yeah,
it's been a fucking joy.
Yeah.
Can I say?
and that's the thing. The door's always open. I'm more than happy to have 7 castologists.
Amazing. Honestly, rotating roster, I'd be into it. Once I find some bandwidth,
Yeah.
hopefully a few of my things come to fruition and then I'll have a bit more time on my hands.
Fingers crossed for Liz's fruition. Fingers crossed for Nick's day job and netball
Life.
podcast.
And never podcast. Yeah. Look, I mean, obviously the last couple of years have been, it's been incredible being able to work with both of you and have such a positive response to the show and everything that we've done. And, it's been great fucking up constantly and,
It's my favorite part when you fuck up.
I
It
remember
makes me
when I
happy.
first started hosting and I'd fuck up the intro so bad. I still do. They're fucking
Yeah.
horrible. I'm the worst
Dude,
at
I
doing
don't
the
think
intros.
Patrick ever got it right. So
It's all right. Just continuing tradition. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's the role of whoever
Yeah.
sits in that
Yeah.
seat.
You
But
can't
yeah,
have 3 competent people host a
No.
podcast.
yeah, I need to be. I'm the dumbass. You guys are the two smart.
I'm the one who fakes that I'm competent, but I'm actually fucking hopeless.
Yeah, but no one can see that. It's fine.
And I'm the one that doesn't fake that I'm competent. I just do it.
Yeah.
All right, Zane. But yeah, no, it's obviously been a pleasure. I don't know if I'll return. If I don't, then look, thank you very much for tolerating me and accepting me into your
commit
ears.
to, even if we don't return as popular as full-time hosts, we can commit to at least a pop in.
I'll do it for sure. I'll do a feature for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a guest cast.
We commit to guesting in the future.
Yeah,
if we make the decision once our hiatus is
Yeah,
up.
I think I would like
Can
to.
you
do
tell
that,
we're
so-
indecisive?
I
Can you,
can.
Yeah, I
can you
can't.
tell that we're like,
But both
Will
of
we?
you throughout all the announcements, you're
You
just
hang
like,
up.
oh, come on.
no, you hang up.
I-
No, you hang up.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the door's
Thanks,
always
guys.
open. Thank you so much for all of your efforts and all of your podcasts. And look, worst come to worst, you can always just be a super fan and recommend things through the website.
I'm such a super fan already.
I might actually just leave my list there, and those are my recommendations, and Zane can sort through them.
Oh, I'm going to leave them there for whoever comes in next and see
Yeah.
if they want to recommend because I've got at least 6 or 7 in the bank still.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I actually kind of went ham on my list. I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I've got this.
Yeah, because when you came in today, you didn't know that you were going to be resigning.
No. know.
All right. Well, that's been this for this week. Join us next week for a whole new show. Maybe.
We promise that
see.
we'll try and get you the best hosts. We'll try.
And
they
it'll
might
still be the
shit.
same format.
Yeah.
It might just be a different vibe of podcast that's being recommended.
Yep.
So
Thank
a
you
change
again.
is as good as a holiday. Keep listening to podcasts and see you later.
Love you all.
Bye.
There are known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. But there are also unknown knowns. The ancient and esoteric Order of the Jackalope is a secret society devoted to unearthing and sharing this forgotten knowledge. Each episode, we take one of these strange stories and share it with you. No topic is off limits, except for the obvious. Available wherever fine podcasts are sold.